Right, here it is at last. Congratulations if you've managed to get to the end of the long version of this video. So now we have the model. How on earth do we teach from it? There are lots of ways, but I'm just going to give you 4 here. Reconstruct it from the key vocabulary. So, call students up. They get to highlight a particular word, maybe 1 per line or 2 per sentence, however you want to do it. And this is the key vocabulary that they think is most important. Once that's up, get rid of the rest of the answer, and they just have that key vocabulary. Can they reconstruct it in the order in which the vocabulary appeared? And you'll find that has a profound effect on the way they write, a profound effect on the way they think. They won't reproduce your exact example, but they will produce something that scores very highly because of the key vocabulary that they've recognised makes up the answer. Another way to do it is just give them the topic sentences of each paragraph, maybe with a bit of key vocabulary afterwards, but the topic sentences will help them structure the answer and hopefully remember what went in each paragraph after the topic sentence. For example, if this were the topic sentence of my second paragraph, something in it would have to refer back to the end of my first paragraph. So I would get a clue as to how this preceding paragraph needed to end, because part of the vocabulary or the ideas would be reflected in this topic sentence. And then my final bit here, you can reconstruct from the structure. You could simply draw that. So imagine it's a newspaper article where you could draw in the columns, you could draw a space for each paragraph, you could draw a space for the picture, you might stick in, 10 words, 1 for each paragraph, and then they get to appreciate how the structure works. Or it might be an argument piece, in which case you would just do the first word of each paragraph and maybe each connective or each bit of punctuation in the paragraph. So paragraph 1 might be full stop, comma, full stop, exclamation mark, with a couple of keywords in there. So they're having to think about the structure of the writing. A final piece that I haven't done here is that you can do it as a close exercise so that they miss particular words out. That's a really good way to get them to focus on what the key vocabulary was. And that old favourite, that DART activity where you chop up the paragraphs and get them to rearrange it. They're nice, they're slightly gimmicky, and I think these 3 are more important because they actually get students writing. And writing is the key if you're in a subject where writing needs to be done.